This video has been made possible by SoloAnimation.com. Okay guys, well, we're in Maya 2018. As you've seen in the intro, I'm at Animago in Munich. Got the opportunity to speak there, so that's kind of cool. But nevertheless, I didn't want to leave you guys without a video for today, right? So we're going to create a park bench. I did something like this a couple of years ago, but I'm getting a lot of questions to do it again, so that's what we're going to do. Right now, before we get started, up in the corner is the logo for my GoFundMe campaign. Now, what that is about is my second channel that's going to be dedicated to photography-related topics, but also topics that are very much related to 3D. So composition, framing, lighting, anything that will help you as a 3D artist to tell your story. Now for that, I am in need of gear that is way beyond my reach. It's way too expensive, so I'm asking you guys to help me out. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, and if you want to help me out to start that channel, it would be great if you can find it in your heart to support me, right? Now that said, today's video, here we go. So this is the one that we're going to approach, basically nothing fancy, and we're going to start with an armrest, all right? So I'm going to take a simple polygon cube. I'm going to hit R and pull that out, something like that, right? And what we're going to do from here is we're going to add some edge loops. So we're going to go in here to insert edge loop, option box. Let's set that to 2, that's fine. And I want 2 in this direction, and we'll hit R to scale that out a little bit. And then let's see, we'll do 2 in this direction. And we'll hit R and scale it out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go in here, take this face, and I'm going to hit W and move that out a little bit to kind of get that feel to it in front there. And we're going to add some edge loops here as well. Okay, so we're going to go into insert edge loop again, and we'll do 2, and we'll do 2 and 2 and 2. We'll hit Q on a keyboard. Let's have a look at our reference. All right. So we're going to go in here and let's go in, right click at our vertex, start, I would say somewhere like this, okay? Hit W, bring that down a little bit, skip 1, bring that down a little bit, and skip 1 more. Not too crazy on the last one, okay? Now let's do a quick preview smooth here. We're going to go in, we're going to hit 3. And that looks nice. All right. Okay, let's see if that's round enough in the front there. Let's hit 1 to go back. Maybe not. So what I'll do is I'll go in to edge loop again, like so. And then we can go in here, after frame, Q on our keyboard. And I'm going to right click, go to vertex, drag, select these, hit W, and kind of move it forward like so. That should make a big difference. Let's see. Hit 3 on our keyboard. Much better. Okay. Right. So now that we have that, let's look at that vertical piece. That one is pretty straightforward. The one just underneath that, not so much. So let's see what we can do here. Trying to think if I can reuse this guy or not. Maybe it's better to just create a new one. Okay. So we're going to take a new cube, which should be basically the same size still. We're going to move that back here, and let's have a look. After frame, 4 for wireframe mode, and there you have it. Okay, so we're going to right click at a vertex, drag select, let's bring that down, and hold on X and snap it, and then we'll take these 2 and push that up and snap that as well. Just looking at the overall height there, whether that is enough, that should be a bit higher. So we're gonna snap it up to, let's see, that's better. Yeah, okay. So now that we have that, let's go in here and we're gonna go into insert edge loop again. And we'll do 2 there, and I'm gonna hit 4 for wireframe mode so I can see it better. So I'm going to flare that out until they're in line with the other ones, which is kind of important when you start to smooth that out, that it looks okay. And then I'm going to go in here and we're going to make this in the corner a bit square, like so. After frame 5 for shaded mode. We don't need that face in the bottom there. Let's get rid of that. Select it, shift period to increase selection and hit delete. There you go. So we got that, and we want to kind of shape that guy as well a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and let's see. We're going to add these two and two there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to jump to the top. We're going to right click, go to vertex, and I'm going to drag select these 4. Hit Q on my keyboard. Let's try that again. Drag select these 4. And then I'm going to hit B on my keyboard for soft select, hit W, and start to pull that up to raise that a little bit. Okay, looks kind of neat. Now we don't have to have an identical copy of the one we have, but a little bit will be nice. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to Insert Edge Loop again, open that up, set it to manual, and then go in, and we'll add one, I would say around here. We're going to hit B to turn that off. So that's okay, and then we're going to go back in and do that with multiple. So let's do maybe 3. Not quite sure how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. Okay, and then let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to take these vertices and let's hit W. Not quite sure whether I'm going to commit to this or not. Maybe. But that's what we have for now. And let's see what that looks like when it's smooth. Okay. So we'll hit 3, and that's not bad. Not bad. Okay. Now we're going to hit 1 to go back. For this to work, I need to put an edge loop down in here. So I'm going to go to Insert Edge Loop and then set that to manual right there. And get an edge in here very, very tight to the end. Okay. Q on a keyboard. We can even go as far as to hit W and slightly move that in. So now if we select these two and we hit 3 to preview smooth, it will look okay, right? Now we're getting there, guys. So we have those two, and of course we can copy those over later when we're almost done with that. So what we need to do next is take another one and put it underneath. So I'm just going to copy this guy. Let's just hit 1 to go back. Control D to duplicate, W to move forward. That's going to be here. Now we don't need all of that, of course, but it's always cool when you can reuse something. So we're going to go in here and let's see, that's the back part. This is the guy we're talking about. We're going to go to vertex and let's see. Let's do a single edge loop in here. Yeah, that's fine. So we can go in here and put one in around here, and we'll fix that in a second. Q on a keyboard, right click face, drag, select and delete. And then we're going to go back in here and we're going to right click at a vertex. I'm going to drag select, W, hold on X to snap. Anyway, we're going to move this down. There you have it. And looking at our reference here, there seems to be kind of an area where it comes in. So we're going to do the same here. So I'm going to go in here and set that to 5, like so. We'll go in and we'll put in 5 right here. And then we'll go back. And let's set that to 1. And when it's set to multiple and 1, you will get one perfectly in the middle, which is kind of the idea, right? Just looking at the number here, that would work for us. Okay, so we're in this view. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in, right click at our vertex, and we're going to drag select, let's do these. 1, 2, 3. We'll hit W, we'll bring that in to about there, I would say. And then we'll take these in the middle and we'll bring it into about there. Okay. All right, so what do we got? So we got this guy right here, 1, 2, and 3. We'll go to mesh and combine. And then if you want, you can put a rectangular one in the middle down here. Just push that down. R to scale it in a bit and push it down a bit, and then hit R to scale that out. We'll put that into place. So right click vertex, move that in like so, move that in like so. And if you have a poly count restriction, what you can do is delete the faces that you don't need. Okay. Now this is what we have so far. We need to smooth that last guy as well. So we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop option box, set it to manual, and then we'll go in for wireframe mode, push one in all the way to the edge and one all the way to that edge. Q on a keyboard, select the whole 9 yards, and go to mesh and combine. And now if we go in, hit 5 for shaded mode and hit 3 to smooth, we'll get something like this, right? Okay, now we're getting some places. So let's go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth this guy. And then we're gonna hit Control D to duplicate, hit W to move over to, I would say about there, okay? Now we're gonna take a polygon, a cube. We're gonna hit R, we're gonna pull that out, push that in, make it nice and flat. And W, raise that up. And then from our top view, we'll take these guys, go to, let's see, mesh and combine, modify center pivot. So we can hold down X and snap it to the center. We'll take this guy, we'll do the same. We'll hit R and we'll start to scale that out. And we want it in the back, of course. So let's hit W, bring that in here, and then push that down. Having a peak there at our reference. Make it a bit thinner. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so let's borrow this guy here, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to bring down, and we'll put one, I would say, around here. And then we're going to hit Control D again. We're going to hit E to rotate, hold down J, flip it upward, R to push it in a little, make it nice and thin, and then push it down. Just make sure that from the height it works out. So we're going to right click at our vertex, we're going to drag select, W to bring down, and then we'll do 2 here as well, and bring that up to about there. Then we're going to go in and make it nice and thin, not too thin. And then we're going to go into object mode and bring it over here. Let's have a look. We're going to go in, we're going to Control D to duplicate, and W to move over, keep some spacing like so, and then hit Shift D all the way to the right. And then we're going to select all of them and make sure that the spacing is okay. So we're going to go back a little. Okay, that's fine. Now for our seat, what we're going to do there is we're going to borrow one of these guys. We're going to Control D to duplicate. Let's move that forward. Let's hit E to rotate and hold down J so it's flat. Hit E again, rotate it again, so in this direction. Then we're going to hit R and we're going to give it some thickness. Maybe in height even, yeah. Let's get that into place here. So we're going to go to modify and center pivot. Let's jump to our top, hit W, hold on X, and snap it. So we can now hit R and kind of bring that back in, and bring it back in like so. And let's have a look and see where we're at. Alright, so we're gonna hit W, we're gonna push this down. This is gonna be where we're gonna be sitting, right? So after frame, let's go down a little bit more. Let's see, that's about right. We're gonna hit R and we're gonna scale that in just a little. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hit W to move this forward, and I'll show you why. I want this to be somewhat rounded, so I'm gonna take all of these edges and go to Edit Mesh and Bevel. Okay. Now we're gonna increase segments. Problem is though that this will create n-gons at the end here. Okay. So there and there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to face and to poke, which will create these guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that individual vertex, this guy right here, and we're going to W, and we're going to move that kind of more towards the center so it doesn't look that weird. Now this might look messy, but keep in mind they're all perfectly good triangles, so there's nothing wrong with that, right? Now here as well, looks a bit funky being right there, so we're just going to move that a little bit so it doesn't look that off. Okay. Alright, so now that we have that, we're going to go in here and we're going to take this guy and we're going to move it in, and we're going to see whether that's the height we're happy with, but I guess we are. So we're going to go in here and we are going to create somewhat of a shape. Okay, so the first one is going to be somewhere around here, and we're going to hit E and we're going to rotate that a little, and maybe even do this. So hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to put one in here. We're going to hit E to rotate till we get something like this, which is kind of neat. And then we'll take this guy, Control D to duplicate, and we'll move that over here, and we'll hit E to rotate it again, and W to move it in, Control D to duplicate, W to move it out. Here we're going to start to curve downward a little, Control D to duplicate, move it over, Control D to duplicate, move it over. That's like the main sitting space, if you will. Control D to duplicate, we're going to move it over again, and here we're going to slightly start to curve that upward. Not too much. Control D to duplicate, move it over. Here we're going to curve it some more. And bring that in. Control D to duplicate again. And rotate some more. Control D to do it again one more time, and I guess that's going to be it. And we might even need to sort that a little once we're done, but let's have a look. Okay, so the seat itself looks kind of neat. You can see it's cutting into that woodwork there. We can either bring that in, or we can make it so it looks like it's a cutout, which would be better. So we'll do that. We'll bring this out like so. Yeah, it makes more sense. Now we have that. Now there are a couple of ways we can do. We can construct this. Just looking at the overall height and whether that's what we're looking for. So proportions are always important, of course. What I want to do here is right-click at a vertex. Drag, select these guys, hit W, just give that a little bit more height. Okay, I think from an overall standpoint it looks a bit better like that. Okay, so we have that, and we can then decide to do the same on the backrest there if we want. We'll just go in here to object mode, let's go to mesh and combine, and then we can right click at a vertex. We can take these and bring it down a bit if we like. which is this. And then if you want, you can put in sections to carry the seating if you are, if that's what you want to do. Now, a couple of ways we can do that. Let's do it by simply using wood. So we're going to go out here, and I'm going to hit R and kind of pull that out. Let's hit W, move that down, and bring it in like this, so it's kind of the fit we need, if you know what I mean. Then we're going to go to vertex, we're going to drag like this, so we're going to bring that out to, I would say, about here. And then we're going to go to insert edge loop, option box, open that up. Let's set that to 1 on multiple. So it will go into the middle, middle, middle. And this will allow us to make that nice. Okay. Q on the keyboard, we're going to go to vertex, we're going to drag the bottom ones, hit W to push that up to about there, and then let's go in and start to put these into position. So there you go. And if you want to follow that line with the bottom part, you can do that as well, of course, but that's up to you. As always, I'm trying to do this fairly quick so it fits into a tutorial. Of course, you should be much more precise. I just don't want to make a 2-hour video, okay? And as we're not really using a reference here, it's always tricky to kind of come up with some sort of design because you never really know whether that's going to work out for you or not. Okay, so we have that. We're going to go in here, we're going to hit R to push that in, make it nice and thin, and then hit W and bring that in here after frame, which will give us something like this, which is kind of neat. And then if we want to smooth that as we did with everything else, we'll have to go in here, 1, 2, and 3. Q on my keyboard, mesh and smooth. Yeah, kind of neat. Okay, so W to move that in. There you go. We'll just be under that section right there, and then we'll hit Control D to duplicate and W to move over after frame. Same here. Okay, so let's get rid of our reference here. Let's drag select the whole thing. Let's go to mesh and combine. We'll go to modify and center pivot and edit delete by type history. Then we'll put in a quick floor and scale that out. We'll let W to move that down to ground level. Well, there you have it. There's our bench. I'll do a quick render in KeyShot for the thumbnail, but all in all, this is how it can be done. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. I have a pre-recorded video for Friday, and I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully with a little vlog about Animago. All right. See you guys then. Bye.